Hey everybody, Spidey Joe9 here, and I hope you're having a marvelous day. I'm here with my new friend, Manu, from the incredible Instagram account, the 9.9 Newsstand. I've been following this account for some time now and just daily fire just flowing into my feed. And we connected, and we connected over a really awesome post that I saw some really cool people share. I saw Comic Tom share it. Comic Tom 101 has an amazing YouTube channel, amazing Instagram account. I saw the nerdy girl share it,
Yeah.
and I was like, okay, I've got to get to know this guy. Because you have, what is it, a prototype of the very first issue of Wizard
Indeed.
Magazine?
Indeed. In fact, I do. It is pretty crazy. Yeah, we'll get into that. That's like my
Yeah,
pride and joy. It's there. It is here. Yes.
will do. But I'm very thankful for it. I'm very thankful for those shares and for you and I connecting. And I was like, hey, I really want this guy on live so that I can hang out with him and get to know him. So here we are.
I love it. I love it. Thank you for reaching out. And those posts, I just
Mhm.
want to say, I we're gonna have to tag her somewhere. But that was Naj. That was Najla that actually shared my story, my
Really?
reel about the wizard. And when Comic Tom and Nerdy Girl and Go Collect shared it, that was all from Najla's account. She's the greatest, and
Oh,
she definitely she was the purpose for those shares for
she
sure.
got that ball rolling. I'm really glad you pointed that out. That is
She's
awesome.
awesome. Yeah,
We
yeah.
got Dark Knight Jesse in the house.
My man, what's going on?
Look at that. We got somebody who's a DC fan in the Marvel house.
Yeah, and we have some great conversations. He and I, he's a really good guy, and I appreciate
Yeah.
him a lot. I really do.
Well, truth is Batman's in my top 5. So we'll go ahead and state that.
We'll we'll let it work. We'll let it slide.
Yeah.
We'll let it slide. Yeah.
Now, are you a Batman? Are you a DC fan at all?
Um, I am because I actually like Batman a lot, but it's more
Mhm.
of just a personality sort of dark sort of thing, right? Like I
Yeah.
like the mystery there. I like the conflict. I like the darkness. And I've always been a fan of I'm probably going to get in trouble for this, but in terms of earlier movies,
Mhm.
more than a decade ago, it's the DC movies that I used to favor because of the darkness. And I know
Right.
DC's been catching a lot of, well, everyone says DC's not delivering recently, but the truth about me is I haven't watched much of anything
Mhm.
for a very long time. So I don't even know. Like, as big of a Spider-Man fan I am, and as big of a Marvel fan I am, there's a lot of Marvel movies that I haven't seen, so I can't even make the comparisons. But I do
Oh,
like Batman a lot.
well, I love a lot of the Batman stuff, especially the animated. But there's Marvel
Yeah,
movies you haven't seen? We're gonna do movie night now? Is that what we gotta do?
we somebody's gonna have to force me to, because if I spend my time the way that my days have been going, there's no time for movies. So
I got
I,
you.
there's
You got
Naj. I see
look at
Naj. I
that.
see
There she
Naj.
is.
Yeah, he's the
Naj,
best.
Manu was just, espousing what you did with him with that share of the prototype Wizard magazine. It's awesome.
Yes. Oh, thank you so much, my
Vintage
friend.
Lord, where does Robin land in the rankings? Not high. Uh,
Not
I
high. No,
I didn't connect with Robin until he became the Red Hood. So there you go.
I didn't know Robin was the Red Hood.
He does become the Red Hood. Yes, actually, or some version of a Robin. Let me not get
Yeah,
myself in trouble talking about DC, but yeah, it's actually a really cool storyline.
I'm fine to say whatever because I never claimed to know anything about DC. So I'm
Well,
just gonna go with
Joker like crowbar kills Robin. Batman's not there to save him. He dies. He's brought back to life by Ra's al Ghul, I think, or something like that. And he comes back with vengeance against Batman as the Red Hood, which was the first. Uh, it's like the origin story of Joker. He was the Red Hood before he was the Joker. So
that.
it's
Oh,
all pretty. It's very interesting.
I'm gonna learn a lot today.
Yeah, let's see. We got some people jumping in the chats. DC animated movies are definitely great. Totally agree with that. The last one I think I saw was DC's. Was it Apocalypse? Yeah, I think it was Apocalypse. I don't know if you saw it.
I did not. No.
The only superhero I don't like is Batman. Whoa, that's
Oh, that's
interesting.
Naj? Yes. You
Yeah,
know what? She and I recently had this conversation because I couldn't believe it. I
that's
couldn't
hard to
believe it.
believe.
I
He's
know.
he's like number two, right there. Anyways, that's
She and
crazy.
I are gonna have to have some more conversations about that.
You know,
I don't know.
maybe you can get her to do one of these little podcast things with us.
Oh
That'd be
no,
great.
it's scheduled. This is my first time ever going live, ever
Yeah,
doing anything on a camera. The universe brought us together and I said, "You know
exactly.
what? Go for it. Let's do it." And Naj and I have been speaking about this for a while. She's literally been encouraging me to do something of this sort, and
Oh,
oh,
she's a force.
seriously. She's a major force. A
We need
major force.
By the way, if you're not following her Instagram account, I strongly encourage it because what I notice she does is number one, she has fun. It's
Yeah.
all comics for the most part. And she
Yeah.
does reels. Like they're just it's killing the real game.
She does reels, like for real. She does reels.
Yeah.
She's killing it on TikTok, killing it on Instagram. She's the only reason I've ever recorded anything, and she, is one of the reasons that I'm here right now. So yeah,
I love it. I'm more thankful for her even more now. Now,
absolutely.
are you on TikTok?
I mean, there's one reel on TikTok, but I don't pop in too often. It's just a personality thing. It's a lot. You go on TikTok and right away someone's in your face,
Yeah.
doing something cutesy or something, and
Right. And you
it's a little
sometimes don't know. It's
jarring
like
for me.
boom. Yeah, I get you.
Yeah,
That's the
yeah,
problem. I don't live on TikTok. My wife does,
got
and
it.
I just don't have time and space for it. So I haven't created content for it other than like 3 or 4 things. And I just made myself do that. Hey, we got
And
Marvel
we have
Madness in
to.
the house.
Hey,
Oh, I agree. TikTok is important.
yeah, we
We
have to. Yeah.
we got Jordan Hudson. Look, we'll just do a combined account and we'll just take turns making content. That way we
That
don't
might
have
be
to.
the only way we get it done, right? Because left to
Yeah.
my own devices, I don't know.
Look, Jesse agrees. Batman Under the Red Hood. You have to check it out. It's got everything you said you liked about Batman.
I got to check it out then.
It's really good.
Guaranteed.
It's really good.
Absolutely. No question.
Oh, look, Marvel Madness said you helped him with a reference on a cell. So that was pretty cool.
Oh, well, I wonder which one that was. I want to know. Who did you
Yeah.
buy from? Which
Yeah.
one
Marvel
was it?
Madness, let us know. That'd be great.
Yeah, congratulations on the sale though. Absolutely.
Yeah, everybody, Jordan's so good. It does help if you hit the like button. Uh, that is awesome.
Oh,
He says
yes,
he's
please
always
hit the
been a
like.
you. He says, "Do we need to introduce?" I think you probably know Dark Claw. Do you know that? Do you know about the '90s Dark Claw? And I'm pretty sure you probably do because I think it did make a cover of a Wizard magazine.
I do know the name. I
Mhm.
can remember the character and how cool the character looked. Do I know or remember anything beyond that? No.
There really isn't. DC and Marvel just mashed up characters and made art with it. I mean, there may be a
Okay.
comic book, but there's like or some small storyline. But what if Wolverine and Batman, you know, became one and they were Darklaw? That's kind of it.
Oh, I remember that completely. I completely remember the graphics of that. Yes,
Yeah, yeah.
absolutely.
And yet Spider Boy, which was Superboy and Spider Man, and you know,
There was a Spider Boy? Yes, there was. I guess
yeah,
there was. I suppose there was. Why not? And now we're in multiverses of all sorts. There's everything.
yeah. Well,
I'll
Derek,
tell you
man,
that.
I appreciate that. Sorry about that.
No, no worries. There's a there's a Spider Ham that I'm not a huge fan of, a Peter Porker,
Yeah,
and that's the only thing that I criticize from time to time. I have fun criticizing it, but I don't own
it's
anything with the Spider Ham on it.
I do have the Spider Ham action figure just because well, I have every Spider-Man action figure. So
Okay. All right. That's yes,
it
you
fits
have to.
there. But it is Spider-Ham. Peter Porker was not a favorite of mine, but I get it. Like if there was a Looney Tunes verse and that verse had a Spider-Man, it would be Peter Porker, right? Like that's kind of what that
Yeah,
reminds me of.
that makes sense. Yes. Yes.
Oh no, yeah, so I'm behind. Like I get behind on chats. I'm sorry.
I don't even I can't they're so small on the actual phone that I
Mhm.
can't see them, and on the actual screen it's delayed.
I'm gonna read them to
I'm
you
new here.
as
Thank
you
you.
need. Yeah, I'll read them. We do need Naja's link to her IG account, but
Yeah.
I can't remember it. I can see it in my mind. Oh wait, no, she shared it. Here it is, everybody. That is her IG account. Please go check it out. You'll be doing yourself a favor.
Oh, she said Spider Ham is Manu's favorite.
No, no, you did see that.
Oh, there's a
Uh-huh.
chat here. Oh, you know what? I should probably sign in.
Oh, that might do it. Oh,
Let's
Symbiotes
do
by
it.
nature. What's going on?
Oh, that's my man. Where is he? What's
He's in
going
the chats. He
on?
gave us a wave. Yeah, he did.
Oh man, this is
Mhm.
awesome. Can we be here all the time, Justin? Is this something we can do all the time?
We can't do it all the time, my friend, but we can do it a lot.
Fine. Okay, good. This is
So,
great.
all right. So, Dark Knight Jesse has a question.
Yeah.
How are you enjoying Moon Knight? And I think I already know the answer to this, but go ahead.
I haven't seen
I,
a
I, kn-
single episode,
I knew it. I knew it.
right? And I find comfort in knowing that it's a six-part miniseries, and soon it will be finished, and then I will subscribe to Disney Plus, which I am not a paying subscriber of, and
Hmm.
I will enjoy everything that I've been missing out on. I'm gonna watch Moon Knight. I hear the Spider-Man animated series from the 90s. Every season, every episode is there, so I'm gonna binge the heck out of that. Like
That's
that's
the stuff,
going
man.
down.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. So
You,
um,
you know what else is on there?
I'll get to it. Yeah. Right. Is that the new one?
Previously on X-Men. This hat was given to me last week from Eric and Julia Leewall, the creators of X-Men. I went and had lunch with them
Awesome.
last week.
Oh, you were telling me that's
I
right.
did. I was kind of near your neck of the woods. Uh,
That's right. You're in California. It's
I was
close
in
enough.
California. I was close enough. Yeah.
Yeah.
But they
Okay,
gave me that
great. I'm gonna
hat. How
watch
about
it.
that?
I love that. I think that's fantastic. Oh, what a hat I'm wearing a Marvel hat, I think.
Oh, I like it. I like it a
Yeah, I'm
lot.
wearing a Marvel hat today.
So quickly, my thoughts on Moon Knight is it it actually hasn't been my favorite Disney Plus series at this point, and
Of
that
Moon Knight, you're
doesn't
saying. Okay.
of Moon Knight. It doesn't
Yeah.
mean it's not good. I've got plenty of people who love it. My daughter, she's 15, she loves it, and it just for whatever reason, the last episode that I know a lot of people really liked as like the best episode so far just didn't grab me like I was anticipating. I want more Mark Spector, and so I'm curious to see how that goes. Yeah, his
Is
favorite
that
is
RS Cali RS in the chat? Is that
you're.
Andrew in the chat? A band that is. What's going on? He's in there.
Yeah, he's here.
This
And
is cool.
Derek has a question for both of us. Favorite comic you would like to add to your collections that isn't a normal everyday key? Oh,
Oh,
okay.
that isn't a normal everyday key. Dang, I almost had my answer out. Well, do you have an answer to that?
Well, I mean, my let me put it back on the screen here. There is a I want I need two books to complete my Adam Legend Blue Marvel at 9.8. I have it's a 5 issue series. I have one and I think it's 4 and 5 that 9.8. So I need 2 and 3 at 9.8. So those are the two issues that are not everyday keys that I would like to add to my collection.
Okay. I think okay, cool, very cool. I think I can follow that up by saying any Jurassic Park newsstand 9.8 from the Topps comic book series in the 90s.
You meant like definitely not an everyday key,
Not
but
an everyday thing.
as soon as you said it, I'm like, why don't I already have that? Like, I love Jurassic Park. I forget that there
There's
probably was a comic book.
They're so cool. I just got my first 9.8 of issue number 4 with two Velociraptors jumping out at you. It hasn't even been delivered yet. I snatched it up for a really great price on eBay. I think, if I'm not mistaken, it was like 150 maybe for a
All right,
9.8 newsstand.
I'm I'm going to have to warn you. When we talk about stuff on this channel, it tends to disappear on eBay.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, dang. Oh, no.
So, yeah.
Wait, so we're not talking about wizards tonight then, right?
No, yeah, we're not talking about it.
No,
It does we serve the community, but it works against us sometimes.
it's okay. We are the community. We are one. We
I
are
love it.
all one. Yeah,
I love
I
that.
do love it. Yeah.
Okay. So Pimp Pastor JJ, interesting name. Interesting name there. Um,
Pit
did
Pastor,
you
hello.
see the new Spider-Man Marvel Legends reveal today? So are you a Marvel Legends guy at all?
The action figures.
Yeah.
No, but I know. I mean, no, I am. I just don't know that world, but I know you do. So please, did you see it and tell me what it is?
I did see it. It's overwhelming because it's so good. They did a tremendous amount of Spider-Man releases, including well, I have them some laying here. This is the newest Hulk.
Cool. Okay.
Okay. And this is on the original Toy Biz type packaging. It's not the same, but it's like that. It's like a, an homage to it. Well,
Yeah, okay.
they redid the AF-15 Spider-Man. So it's that darker red and blue suit
Oh,
on the
I'm gonna have to
newest
see that.
body. Oh, it's fantastic. Along with a bunch of other ones. It's just Iron Spidey, that one on the new body mold. Tons of cool stuff. A new Toad, which for if you're like the Brotherhood of Evil Mutants for X-Men, we've been waiting on that new modern figure. So bunch of good stuff. I actually want to do a quick video on it later, but probably not going to happen now. Um, Here, okay? What say? Manu goes from I am new here to let's. Oh yeah, Manu goes from I'm new here to let's do this all the time. I love it. Yeah, that's.
When
uh,
there's good people and good conversation, I can definitely find myself comfortable quickly.
oh, you're doing great. You're a natural. I don't know if you know that. Like
I
really.
appreciate that very. This is encouraging, I'll tell you that much for sure.
Yeah,
I feel like I'm amongst friends. I speak to these people every day.
we're
Every
just
day I speak
yeah,
to, yeah,
and we're just hanging out. Just hanging out.
yeah.
So Marvel Madness, this is Joshua who said he did a deal with you. He said he was able to buy something from someone that you had previously done business with. So
I'm
I think
happy that it went smoothly.
he
That it went
used you.
smoothly. Yeah.
Mhm.
I appreciate that very much. And I'm always here to help if there's a reference I could talk about.
Yeah, it was Chris Caddis, I think. So
Oh man, come on. He's gonna tie in oh dude, I remember the conversation. I remember the DM about it, and I remember, and that's going to tie in so beautifully to the conversation about wizards today. I didn't expect to be telling that story, and but I suppose I'm going to. But that is that. Oh well, that's fortuitous. I will tell you that much. So thank
I
you,
love it.
Marvel Madness. That
I
is
love it.
awesome. Okay,
So Sal Felix says the Blue
Sal, my
Marvel
man.
book seems to always be pricey in a 9.8. Are you familiar with the character and you familiar with the book? Blue Marvel.
I mean, I feel bad saying no.
Oh, don't feel bad. No,
Yeah, I feel
not
bad
at all.
saying no. I Google
Um,
it.
you Google it.
Yeah.
It's an incredible character, an incredible story. It came out during, I think it was like 2009, 2011, in that kind of low period for Marvel Comics, right?
Okay, yeah, I'm completely unfamiliar with this. Completely.
And Kevin DeGrow wrote the storyline. You might remember him if you're familiar with Underworld, the movie
Yep. Oh, yeah.
with the werewolves and the Lycans and all that. He
With
helped write
Kate
that.
Beckinsale, you mean?
Yeah,
With Kate Beckinsale. Yeah, I know that movie.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, you like werewolves, huh? So,
exactly. Yeah.
anyhow, he helped write that. Well, he wrote this amazing story about a character like in the 50s, and he is OP level, just unbelievable level power, and he ends up defeating this really powerful villain. And when he does, his mask reveals that he's black. And
Mm.
when that happens, like the world didn't want a black superhero.
What year
This
was this?
this was released. The book was released in like 2009, but the setting was like 1950.
Oh, the
Okay,
world within the comic book
right. It's
had
like
gotcha.
1950. So I can't remember the exact year. So give me some grace on that.
Sure, sure, sure,
And
sure.
when that happens, like America turns on him, and so he goes into hiding, going to work for the government, and only shows up if it's a level 10 threat. And that doesn't happen until like to modern times. And Captain Marvel, Iron Man, Sentry, and Namor couldn't stop this guy when he shows back up. And so Blue Marvel gets the call. He shows
Mm.
up and ends up he has to tussle with our superheroes of modern times. He one punches Sentry to give you an idea of his strength. Okay,
Okay.
I don't know if Sentry's like the Marvel Superman to some degree, and he ends up defeating this person that comes back that's a level 10 threat. Anyway, he's an amazing character. He may end up showing up in the MCU at some point in time, but here's why the book is so expensive. It's a true first appearance with the title issue, so it's his first appearance on the cover with the title. They only printed like 17,000 copies, and then people didn't want them.
Right.
And they're on this cover that like the material that creases really really easy. So the
Okay.
9.8s are really difficult.
That's my
And
favorite blend for a sort of book to hunt. Like
yeah,
low print and then neglected initially, so tough to find in high grade, and now boom.
boom. And then as the issues progress, 3, 4, and 5, the print runs got lower and lower and lower to about 9,000 for number 5 or something like that. You can look it up on Key Collector. And
Okay.
so there's not a lot of them. They're hard to get in high grade, and I want them all in 9.8s.
That I love that goal. That
Yeah.
sounds good. I didn't know anything about it before, and I fully support it. Sort of like some of the other
And
things we talked about 2 days ago.
yeah, I knew you
Yeah.
would. And it was the first book I ever spent a lot of money on, comic book wise. I paid $595 for the 9.8 back in 2019, 18, something like that. And my
Okay.
brother's like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "I just love this story. I love this book. I got to have it." And so I bought it. Now
And turned out
it's
to be the right thing to do for sure.
yeah, it's hit 2 grand
Yeah, I
before.
just saw that. I think Sal mentioned that. He said, but every time it pops up, it's 2K or more.
Mhm. Oh, he did? Okay, I
Yeah,
haven't seen that. Derek Price said, "Good answer. Good answer. You went off the rails with the tops version." Talking about Jurassic
I
Park.
did. I did. I know. I
Yeah.
was on the spot. That's what I came up with. I do really love that series though. Yeah.
9.9 is about to influence some eBay sales. He sure is.
Hey, look at this icon. He's got Black Suit Spidey from the animated series.
He does.
I'm
That's cool
into
stuff
it.
right there.
I'm into it.
Yeah, Amazing Fantasy, Marvel Legends is so yeah, that's on my list to get tomorrow too. Hopefully it won't sell out.
Really quick, I mean, maybe
Mhm.
not really quickly, maybe it doesn't have to be, but
Take your
on the
time, man.
action figure front, I was only introduced to the recent action figures first with
Oh,
this new
Black
the new
Widow.
Black Cat,
I mean Black Cat. Yeah.
from Hasbro. I didn't even know it was Hasbro. The packaging looks like Toy Biz from back in the day and
Mhm.
everything. And I was just so impressed by the actual card stock, the packaging, and then the action figure itself. And then um, I got the uh, the animated series Venom that came in the black box with the
Mhm.
cool, animated series look to the box. And I haven't actually opened the action figure, but that impressed me. And now there's the black suit Spidey, the symbiote Spidey that just came out from that Hasbro line, and I needs that.
As a reference for everybody.
That's it. that that is
It's
the toy. Naj, where are you? We need that toy.
yeah, so I picked up on that she likes Black Suit Symbiote Spider-Man.
Yeah,
And I mean who doesn't? If you don't, something's wrong with you. But
yeah.
no, you can like whatever you want.
No,
It's
yeah.
amazing.
Sorry, you're right. Black suit Spidey's my thing. There's something about the black suit Spidey's my thing. When Peter Parker got the symbiote suit on, that's my guy.
When he turned all kind of mean and angry and
Yeah, I like the conflict. I mean, I like Peter Parker in general too, but it's almost like to have that conflict, to have that other side show up is very human. It's
mhm.
very human, and I dig it. And plus, it's just like dark things, so it looks good.
Yeah, no, I'm with you. It
Yeah.
does look fantastic. We've got a new Marvel card set coming out this summer called Spider-Man Metal. So if you collected Marvel cards in the 90s, they had the Marvel Metal from 1995.
Mm-hmm.
And so they're bringing that back again with a Spider-Man centric set. And I can't wait to see the black suit Spider-Mans in them. Really
I can't
excited.
wait. Okay. I'm gonna have to get on the modern Marvel card game, probably starting with that set.
I I warn you, don't.
Oh man.
It's too it's if you like rarity and difficulty, it's got it. It's there.
I do like that kind. I That's my thing. Like I love that.
Oh, I
Make it
know that.
difficult on me, make it a challenge, and I'll show up for the hunt, the struggle, whatever. I'll be there for it.
Yeah. Well, I'll pray you through it because it's a lot. It's a lot to take on. So
All right.
do 6237 said he picked up the Ultimate Wolverine versus Hulk 1 through 6. Oh, did I lose you?
Oh
You froze
no.
on me. There you are. There we got you.
Are we having connection issues?
You're good now, man.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. Yeah, he says he's sees it 2000 or more. Okay. We got Chris Rosenberg in the house. What's up?
What's going on?
Yeah. Sal, check out the story. It's a lot better than I told it, but I was doing my best. Oh, look at Paul Cox with the Black Symbiote Spider-Man, the Todd McFarlane AMS 300 cover.
Oh yeah, there. Oh, Paul, what man? Paul, my friend Paul. Paul knows what I'm saying. Paul about. Paul knows. He's got a very very special book. And I don't
Mhm.
even. I. You know what? Let's just tell the world whatever.
All
All
right,
right.
Paul, make everybody aware.
Paul has. Paul has a Amazing Spider-Man 316 Mark Jewelers 9.8
I'm following.
white pages.
Oh, wow. So he hits all the
White
marks.
pages. He has the there's a Mark Jewelers shirt
Yeah,
right
I see
there.
it. Yeah.
And I was fortunate enough to buy a raw copy and successfully grade out a 9.8 of a Mark Jewelers, but mine is off white to white pages. Now I forgive that book for being that because it's so significant, it's so special. I actually
Right.
didn't pull it out. I didn't think this would come up. But it's actually not even here. But
Oh,
the white he owns a white pager, and I won't
all right.
tell the story of the book because that's his to tell, but the
That's his to
story of
tell.
how it happened for him
Yeah.
is incredible. So I'm not
Wow.
surprised that he won't sell it to me, but I've been after it for a long time.
Hey, you made me look because I was like, I brought something to show you, but I was like, is it white pages? And sure enough, it is. So we got a 9.8.
Oh, beautiful. I see. It's a Spawn 1. It's signed. It's signed by Todd McFarlane, the full Todd, and it's a newsstand. Yo,
Full Todd,
that's a book. The
not
full
the
Todd.
not the T. Dot McFarlane.
Yeah, and I
Newsstand
have some of
9.8
those in the
white pages.
collection. It's okay, but that is amazing.
So I have a twin brother who used to own a comic book shop, and he wanted me to ask you, did you get your 9.8 newsstand Spawn from him on eBay? So this guy shows up in his comic book store one day and has a long box of Spawn number ones, which, there's a lot of Spawn number one issue number ones, right? And he opens it
Yeah.
up, and it's a minty fresh, never put on the shelf newsstand, 65 Spawn newsstand number ones. And he had just opened up the comic book shop, so he just threw them up on eBay for like $50, $100 a piece, and sold all of them, but like 5 or 6 of them.
Okay, and there was a question in there for me.
Yeah, he thinks you bought one. He thinks you got one of them at some point because you got a 9.8
Oh, I
newsstand,
may
don't you?
have. Oh, I've had multiple of the 9.8 newsstands of that book, and I've
Hmm.
had dozens of the raw copies, so it's
Hmm.
possible.
It's possible.
It
Yeah.
is possible.
So I
Yeah,
bought
it's
4 of
possible,
them,
but I couldn't say for sure.
and I
Nice.
graded all 4. I got all 4 signed and got all 4 graded, and only 2 came back in 9.8, 2 came back in 9.2.
Two came back in 9.2.
Yeah.
It was a noticeable thing then, though, right? If it's a
Yeah.
9.2, there's some stuff on there.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
but
Todd
congrats on the
manhandled it.
9.8s.
Yeah, I sold one and went to Disney and sold and then kept the other. So,
Very. Oh
uh,
yeah. Paul says you still have first dibs. He is talking about the white page
oh,
316.
that's
Mark
awesome.
Jewelers, my man. Just knowing that he's giving me the honor of that, I'm almost satisfied. Almost
Right.
completely
Almost
satisfied.
there. He's he's spreading some joy for you though.
Paul, I'm saving up for it. Paul, I have an account that is for that book.
Oh, we lost you a little bit, but just so people there
Oh,
you
am
you're
I
good.
back?
I
Justin,
got
do
you
you
back.
see me now?
I do, you're good. But just so people know what you're talking about, we're talking about the Venom first full cover appearance where he's skull drugging Spidey, right? Todd McFarlane art. It's a beautiful book. You can't. Oh, I can hear you. Say something. Say
Can
something.
anybody hear me?
Yes.
No.
Yes. I can hear you.
You can hear me?
Yes.
Oh no. 1 second.
Yeah, you take your time. But it's a beautiful cover if you're not familiar with it. Google the AMS 316, an amazing book.
You can hear me, so I'll say this. I
Yes.
received a phone call, and after getting the phone call, the audio coming to me has cut out.
Yeah, I probably should have told you to put it on do not disturb while we were going. Sorry about that. That's on me.
Let's see what I can do here.
You sound good. I can hear you.
Oh no. Bad. I don't know what I'm doing. Somebody in the chat tell me how to fix this.
What? Take the earbud back out. Take the earbud back out. The earbud. Can you hear me if you take out the earbud?
9.9 NEWSSTAND. What are your thoughts on the field? I don't know. I gotta see what's happening here.
We can hear you, my friend.
Oh no. Bad.
Can you hear me now? What about now?
Nope. Still can't.
What about now?
To start this thing over?
Hey, just if you'll leave and come back in, do that. Like leave and come back in. All right, guys, we're going to get Manu's audio fixed. Sorry about that. Sometimes there's technical difficulties, but I suspect we'll get it going. I'm going to run through some of the comments here. Oh, Naja knows what she's getting soon. Oh, and Kent, to let you know, the reason you can't find it is going to be released tomorrow at 1 Eastern time. The AF-15 Spider-Man Marvel Legends will be released at 1 Eastern time tomorrow. Hey, my friend.
I can hear you.
We missed you.
I'm so sorry that happened, but you know what? Technical difficulties, par for the course. First time.
You know what, man? Nothing but love. Nothing but love. It's all good.
Thank you. I'm glad that we are back. Okay, so
Yeah.
where were we?
We were talking about the AMS 316 first full cover appearance of Venom, and that you got some money set aside for it.
Oh, that's what I was saying. So I was telling Paul, whenever he hasn't told me what he wants for it, and because he doesn't want to sell it yet, and I completely respect and appreciate that. It is the grail of all grails. I'm happy just knowing where it exists. I don't know where another one is. And whenever he tells me what he wants for it, I'm just going to hit send. I'm going to type in those exact numbers and I'm going to send it. And it's going to be friends and family. Boom, go.
Go.
And that's it.
Well, it's, like I've told some friends I've had some stuff they're looking for. I'm like, just take solace that you know where it's at. Like that's sometimes the hardest part, right? It's like, just know.
That's big. Mm-hmm. That's big. And eventually, if the person is somebody that you like, and Paul is somebody that I like very much, it sort of ends up feeling like it is yours. I mean, I know I don't want to take. I'm not
oh wow, credit. You've already claimed it.
No, but it's like it feels like, oh, that's my friend that has it. That's perfectly fine. It's in my universe. You know? That feels good.
That. I like that a lot. Yeah. That's really good. That is really good.
For sure.
We got Marvel. I also tell people back here. I'll just say hi to Marvelous Packs.
Oh, dope. What's up?
Yeah.
What's going on?
And what were you saying?
Oh, I was just saying I also say that to friends when they ask. I love when someone asks me, how could I have sold that? I get a kick out of selling things that I don't want to sell. I actually don't want to sell anything else. I don't want to sell stuff that isn't super appreciated or super loved. The same way that I collect is the same way I would like to sell. I want it to be amazing that it was found, graded, sold, like the whole thing.
I feel you.
And so people ask me, how could you sell that? And I say to them, and I said, maybe the new owners of these items wouldn't agree, but if it's passed through me to get somewhere, it's always kind of in my, it's part of my history. My hands have been on it. My energy has been there.
Its legacy is tied to you. At that point,
and I feel,
especially if it's really rare and special, like the story can't be told without you.
And I feel that way about it. I feel complete knowing that. Like, I think part of my journey is just being involved in the transfer, collecting, hunting, the whole thing. It all satisfies the heck out of me. It's not just one facet. It's everything about this and the community. And now, apparently, I love what we're doing here. So this is part of it now.
Well, look, guys, for those who are not familiar with Manu's channel on Instagram, his account, it's 9.9 NEWSSTAND. It's an amazing account. You'll see some of the rare stuff he's talking about. We got Sin City cards here. What's up, man? Good to see you.
What's going on? Yeah.
Paul, be nice to Manu. We got Amanda Z in the house. Oh, do you know Amanda? Do you know Amanda Z? She's the Graded Gamer.
Oh, yeah, Amanda, Instagram. What's going on? Yes, I love Amanda. I love the Graded Gamer. I've bought cards from her. I love her page. You need a post. I look all the time. I haven't seen a new. I didn't mean to put you on blast, Amanda. My bad. I didn't mean to put you on
just blast. Called you out, but here's the good news. She started posting again yesterday.
Okay, I'm into it because I want to buy
She
some more
did.
cards.
She
Let's
did.
go.
Yeah, we're
Cool.
very happy to have you here, Amanda. And we got Stacking
Amanda
Gems.
invited me. Oh, I
No, go
know.
ahead.
That's my man too. Amanda invited me to that app where everyone speaks in a room, and then I never participated, but I was so happy about the invitation. Club
Yeah.
room.
Clubhouse.
Yes. Clubhouse.
I got a funny Clubhouse story. So I'm driving through Las Vegas. Yeah, I'm in Las Vegas with my brother. No, Dallas. I'm in Dallas. Sorry, I'm on my way to Las Vegas. And I get this alert on my phone while I'm driving over here, like it's on this stand and a holder, and it says Marvel Card Clubhouse. And I can't help it. I just hit the button, like I hit the notice, and it pops into this Clubhouse chat, but it doesn't mute you when you go in. Like you're immediately in the Clubhouse and can talk and people can hear you. And
Oh.
I'm like, I have this sense that, oh no, they can hear the car noise. And I'm like, you whispering to my brother, find the mute button, find the mute button. And then he couldn't find it. And I was like, just turn it off, while everybody could hear me while I was driving. It was embarrassing.
That's what I would have become just as flustered, and I would have thrown the phone out the window
That's what I
and
was
dealt with
like.
the
I was just
repercussions
going to wreck
later.
the truck to end it all. Just get us out of there.
Oh man. I was just looking at the comments and I saw that Amanda said something and she said, "Don't let him into spider metal. He's always such good vibes. We can't ruin." Oh, that's sweet. That's
Yeah,
really sweet.
she really cares about you. And Amanda, I don't know if you heard,
Yeah,
like
that's
I
nice.
tried to ask him not to do it. It's going to be a lot. It's going to be insane, because let me give you a little bit of taste why.
Yeah.
It's going to have incredibly, amazing cards in it, but Upper Deck, who releases these Marvel cards, has an e-pack that they do where you can open
Right.
physical cards digitally. And if you complete achievements, you get something that you can't get otherwise. And this thing that you can get is a 16 panel, what they call comic cut cards of the AF-15 cover. So it's the cover with a license released comic book panels as a trading card. They all fit together to make the cover of an actual AF-15 comic book. So it's going to be pretty intense. And it's going to be a bunch of other covers, like 316 is probably going to be in there as well.
I'm into it. I'm into it. I got so much to learn from you about the modern stuff, like these PMGs.
Yeah.
I, in I don't know the years exactly, 2015, 16, 17, perhaps,
Mhm.
or around there. I was not anywhere near a pack of cards during
Same.
those years, and
Same.
I didn't know it was happening. I had no idea.
It was kept secret, man. It was. It wasn't until more content started coming out that people would be aware of it. And there's even so much more, right? That's just
Yeah,
the tip of the iceberg, right? It's
yeah.
like it's like showing somebody, a top comic book, and they think that's all there is. Like there's so much more behind
There's
even the books themselves. It's the story, the art, all of it. It's just amazing.
Yeah, yeah.
And I think we
No,
got
I
the
can't
audio
wait to
fixed.
dive in.
I'm a little bit behind here. Let's see. We've got Jurassic Jake. 9.9 Newsstand has become a recent hero. The man's
My
comic book
man,
knowledge runs deep. Yeah, it does.
Jake, what's up, man? Jake and I have had we only recently became acquainted. We became friends right away. The first time that we had an in-depth conversation in the DM, we started
Mhm.
trading comic book stuff, and he showed me pictures of books that, first of all, I never would have expected him to have. And I don't know if he was here earlier when I was asked what comic book I would want to
Yeah.
hunt or some off the wall. I mentioned Jurassic Park newsstands, but of Jurassic Park 1, there's a very limited one called the Amber Chrome cover. It's like the
Oh,
shiny foil orangish cover. It's super dope, and it's actually stamped on the back with what number it is out of 7,500. Jake will certainly correct me if I'm wrong. I think the print run was 7,500 for that book.
wow.
And so every single one has an independent stamp of which issue yours is, and
Mhm.
CGC actually notates the label with that. So if you have issue, print number 1,500 of 7,500, it says 1,500 stamped on the back or something of that sort. That book is amazing. It's
Wow.
eluded me. Yeah, and I don't have it. And I asked Jake about it. This is our first conversation. I said, I really want that Amber Chrome book. And then he shows it to me
He's like, oh, this one? Yeah, I got it right here.
in a
That's amazing.
9.8 glorious. Yeah.
I think numbered comic books needs to become part of the future. there needs to be that transparency. I know we have some transparency in print runs, and we have pop reports or census reports is what we call it in comic books, right?
Right.
Pop
Yeah.
reports is what we call it in trading cards.
The
But
population. Yeah.
but having received one of Todd McFarlane's recent signed and numbered books, and that the number on there is the actual print run, I,
Yeah.
I like that a lot. I think it's important.
Yeah, that's actually really, you know what, I saw a question, it popped up. It said
Hmm.
I think it was asking my opinion on the future of Marvel cards perhaps. And what you just said is making me think about the future of comic books. Like I think numbered comic books would create a just it would be amazing. The energy around whichever collectors would, go to lengths to
Hmm.
find those or the lower numbers out of it or their favorite number out of it. Like that needs to happen. I like
Yeah.
adding that sort of nuance to it. They don't all have to be that way, but we're just talking about a small part of
Hmm.
the larger
Yeah, it's
comic book
just
thing.
just a part of the hobby itself.
Yeah.
So Marvel guy Kent wants to know, when are we having you rip some Marvel cards? That would be fun.
Anytime. I have sealed wax. We could break out
Whoa,
some personal stat. I got but they're old school. I'm
I
99.
don't care.
Yeah.
That doesn't
But
bother me.
I would love to. I do.
All
I
right.
get, yeah.
We're gonna do a rip. We're gonna have not tonight, because we're gonna talk about Wizard magazines here in a second.
Yes.
But
Yes.
we need to plan a joint ripping, and if we don't do a joint, we can just watch you do it. That's fine. So
Do we
Dark
call
Knight.
that? Is that called a ripoff? Sorry,
Oh,
I'm done. I'm out of here. I'm gone, ladies and
oh,
gentlemen.
yes, that's it for the night. All right, see you later. Dark Knight asks, how do you guys view grading companies? For example, is CGC the one all be all? Are there other companies worth going for?
Should I go?
You're the 9.9 guy, right? So go ahead.
Oh, that's pressure. To me, CGC is still my favorite. I have a tremendous amount of respect for CBCS. Like those are the two main
Hmm.
ones, like the CGC and CBCS. Now, I just love CGC, and I know we have our fair share of from time to time you'll have some issue with the delivery or
Hmm.
we'll be upset about the turnaround times and things like that. But any grading company that becomes popular has those issues. But I still like the CGC case, and then I'm also just from a branding perspective, they have the stronger brand, and I'm just a human being, so I'm affected by that as well. Like the perception of CGC to me is it makes me feel better than the current perception of CBCS still. Now, I have some of CBCS's recent slabs. They now have a new and improved slab.
Yeah.
They have great turnaround times, and I have it. But just to be completely honest, I have tremendous amount of respect for them. That's not the problem. I will accept a CBCS product into my collection, but I have not yet graded with CBCS. And if I had my choice of one or the other, same book, same grade, I'm going CGC. And also, I sell stuff. And just from my own personal experiences, when you sell the CBCS books, because of brand, because of the market as it is right now, and they have a little bit of work to do, which they're going to do. They're not,
Hmm.
CBCS is not going anywhere. They
Mm-mm.
are putting in the work and they're going to continue to grow. And that gap will slowly fill in. But it's probably similar to what happens in cards, right? You have PSA 10s, and then you have like a BGS, not BGS,
You
a
nailed it.
Beckett,
BGS. Yeah.
BGS, right?
Make it
A
grading
BGS
services, which is CBCS, the same company.
that Beckett bought them. I forgot about that. They're off
Yeah.
in Texas. That's why they have signature verification because of Beckett.
You nailed it.
That's correct. See, CGC doesn't offer that, but I actually like that CGC doesn't offer that. Now, maybe later they will, but I like their signature series program. I like that a verified signature has to be
Right.
witnessed. Well, I guess there are two because there are certain people that can verify where CGC rep isn't there, but somebody else is their facilitator. I think I might have that wrong, but
Hmm.
essentially, it's said that somebody has seen this person sign this book,
Hmm.
and I really love that. And that's significant to me, and that's actually going to play into something we might talk about a little later today as well,
Yeah,
or
absolutely.
tonight. Yeah.
I think you answered beautifully. I actually don't think I can add anything that would be better than that. We'll just say that all of my graded comic books right now are from CGC. I did own a New Mutants 98 signed by Rob Liefeld at a 9.8 from CBCS. And I did
Oh,
own
big book.
I did on Edge of the Spider-Verse 2, signed by the artists and writers, all three of them, and at a 9.8. And I sold both of them because they didn't match my other slabs. They're great books, but they
Yeah,
just didn't. They didn't match. They were out of place, and I was like, oh,
that's a thing. That's a real thing.
yeah.
That
So
is absolutely a real thing.
we have the question from David Lee. What up? Where are the wizard ones at? That's what's on the thumbnail. That's what I think has drawn some people in. So for those who are in the chats, whoo, look how beautiful. For those who are in the
But
chats who were not around and okay, tell whoa. That you went too fast. You
I
went too,
know I'm putting it away. We'll
okay,
get
spin it
back.
away.
Yeah.
Who was not around in the early to mid 90s, there was a magazine called Wizard Magazine,
Wizard
and
magazine.
it had a huge impact on my childhood. But honestly, look, Manu, I really want to toss this to you. Why don't you give us a little bit of a background for Wizard Magazine for those who don't know, and then let's go from there.
Let's do. I mean, that was a beautiful start, and I think you and I are going to relate to a lot of this. So, I mean, if you just go back into the 90s, right? Collecting was booming like crazy. I was whatever age I was, between the age of 5 and something else, right? I'm
Mm-hmm.
born in 1985, so in the 90s, as a 7, 8, 9 year old, I was completely obsessed with my favorite artwork in Spider-Man, and I was very similar to the individual that I am right now, just younger and knew much less. But I thought I
Manu,
was.
do you know what I say? We can finally afford to be the kids we always wanted to be.
I'm getting my first tattoo, that on my arm. That's beautiful.
Yeah,
That's absolutely right. We could finally afford to be
yeah.
the kids that we always wanted to be. And fortunately, I don't think we've lost our youthful qualities, and that is
Mm.
such a blessing.
No, I don't want to
You
lose it.
know,
No, I think it's important.
we can't lose it. We can't lose it. It's the most, we can't lose it. So, and that was beautiful. And
Mm.
so in the 90s, when I'm collecting comic books and there's wall books and there's conventions, I'm completely aware of the fact that there are values to these things. Some books are worth more than others. I remember seeing Amazing Spider-Man 1s and AF-15s at local comic book shops, and they had price tags of $15,000 and $30,000, and to a 10-year-old that's astronomical.
Right,
I should have, I wish my parents would have bought some of those, because those $30,000 books probably sell for $1,200,000 right now.
right.
But in any case, that element of the hobby was always there for me. Finding the rarest, trading up, ripping packs, finding the
Hmm.
chase cards. What's this worth? What's that not? Now, for cards, we had Beckett for sports cards and stuff. But when it came to comic books, the first time I was introduced to the world of pricing a comic book was Wizard Magazine. It wasn't Overstreet for me. That was old school already.
Right,
I
right.
wasn't old enough to know what Overstreet was, and even the name alone didn't appeal to me. Overstreet. What sort of
Mhm.
7-year-old's going to pay attention to something called Overstreet? But you
And
put something called Wizard out there. Go on.
and you opened it an Overstreet. If I recall, as a kid, it went like straight to the kind of the boring part of the stuff.
I would imagine so.
It was like reading an NADA guide.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. And Wizard brought this artwork to the cover, the artwork to the inside. Now, my introduction to Wizard wasn't issue number one. I
Okay.
don't remember
Mhm.
which issue it was, but I definitely did the back issue thing, finding my favorite covers, because even if it was an older issue and I wasn't using it to actually, track the market or pretend I was going to buy some expensive book as a, 11-year-old, I
Right.
was looking at the user submitted artwork. There was this section in the middle of Wizards where readers would draw covers of Wizard, and it was
Oh,
incredible.
that was so cool.
It
I'm just
was
now remembering that.
and there was the interviews with the artists, the interviews with the creators. There were
Mhm.
previews of up and coming everything. Like, it was my pop culture.
It was, what if they made this movie? Who would be the actor of these characters?
Exactly right. Those were in, and some of those probably actually came to fruition. Like,
Probably
some of
did.
that probably
Patrick Stewart
happened.
has always been Professor X.
Right. Yeah.
That
Man.
you,
Yeah.
sorry. Do
No.
you?
This is the thing about Wizard. You just
Yeah,
get
they
excited.
somebody I love because people are putting some stuff in here. Like they had the top tens, right?
The
Here it
top
is.
tens. Yeah.
Top 10 hottest comic books, bestsellers.
Yeah.
And one of the things that was my favorite, and I really want to test your memory here, top 10 most powerful superheroes, non galactic beings. Do you remember the top 10 list?
No. No, I
It's one of
don't.
my favorites. We'll I don't want to spoil it for anybody if they want to look it up, but uh, the can you guess who was number one? Let me ask that. And it was DCR Marvel, top 10 most powerful.
I don't want to guess 'cause I don't want to be a fool, but I want to learn. I want you to tell
Okay.
me. Yeah.
Silver Surfer was number one.
Oh, what? Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right.
Superman was
That's
number
cool.
two. Wonder
Oh,
Woman
Marvel
three.
guy had it. Marvel guy said surfer right there.
He did. He did. He
Yeah.
did.
Yeah.
So it is incredible to go back and look at that list. One of the things I remember about it, that top 10 superhero list, was that if I remember correctly, Spawn was number 8, Doctor Strange was number 7. And they said basically they're the same. Like power set wise, they're the same. Spawn uses the power of hell and his necroplasm or whatever, right? And can do whatever he wants to do. And then Doctor Strange just, has all this magical ability and kind of do whatever he can do. And the reason Doctor Strange was number 7 and Spawn was 8 is Spawn, if you remember, he had a limited amount of power and it was draining down. Do you remember
Hmm.
the meter, so to speak? I don't know if that's still true today in Spawn lore, but
I
uh,
haven't seen a meter in a while, so I don't know.
yeah, so they probably changed that. He's probably got, infinite power now. But so anyway, I just remember that list. But they had all that kind of stuff. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah. Yeah, and there, and and just to, there's also what I can't put into words. There's the intangible, just the emotion of receiving something you like and being able to flip through it. There was obviously Saturday morning cartoons, and there was coming home after school and watching that the block of shows from 3 to 4, and then maybe in the evening time you watch Step by Step or something like that. But in the
Right.
meantime, in between, this was the magazine. This was entertainment. Every page, every issue of this magazine that I've had as a child, I might still have every copy of. And they're dog-eared, torn up, pinups ripped out, drawn in things circled. And that's what it was all about. Like we interacted with it, and if you think about now, if you think about anything that becomes popular now, I'm just kind of having these thoughts right now, but
Hmm.
someone could put out a dope website or create a dope page on a certain social platform or anything like that. But what makes or put out an app? What makes all the difference or determines what its success would be, or your chances of revisiting that platform or that idea is there some element for you to interact with, engage with? And
Hmm.
we engaged with every page of that magazine.
Every
It
page, over
was
and
the
over again.
truth. You know, it was just the truth. I
It
love it.
it had how to draw sections in it that
Yeah,
like that's where I really took my drawing to the next level.
I'm into it.
Was was in those how to draw. There was Alex Ross art in it. That's where I first
Yeah.
got introduced to Alex Ross. And then you had the wizard cards, the trading cards.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah, I know you have those, right?
You know what? I don't have any in a PSA 10. And
Okay.
I'm gonna okay, there was the, I think it's called, I don't remember which issue it came out of. It
Mhm.
was the Spider-Man die cut card. It was chrome and the web was die cut at the top.
Yeah.
And I recently just missed it. Usually I get aggressive when I want something, but for some
Mhm.
reason I thought that this wasn't being watched. I thought this wasn't on people's radar, so I was a little laxed with my bidding, and
Uh-huh.
it went. And it went for 300, which was about maybe like 75 more than I expected to, but I
Right.
realized, wow, no, people are paying attention and I need that card. So even if the next one sells for 600, I'm going to buy it. Like
You're
I
gonna
need it.
buy it. Well, I have one at
Man.
PSA right now. I sent it
Ooh.
last year, so I'm still
Okay.
waiting
So
on
it's
it.
coming any day now.
Yeah, it actually is in the assembly stage, which does mean I'm getting within weeks of it coming. So I'm excited about that reveal. But I
Okay.
had to
It's
send it and my Spawn wizard card to
the silver
PSA.
border,
I don't
the
remember.
silver foil border. Okay.
Or the 20, it may be the one that is actually the same image that's on the issue number 11 of Wizard.
Yeah. And I do believe that's what, well, here's issue number 11. So it's this card.
Yes, I believe it's that one. That's what you mean by
Yeah.
silver border. Yeah.
Yes, yes, the silver prism border, and they did another version of this card, which was a gold border,
Uh-huh.
and I forget the story. It was either sent to retailers as a thank you or something of that sort. Someone's gonna get that story right for us because I forget that story. But
Hmm.
that's a really cool card, and the borders on these cards were always way off.
Yeah, see that one. That
right?
one's not cut at all. Yeah, and here we
No,
go.
this one's a yeah,
Modern
this one's
Crime
a
and Car
80,
says there
90,
is a
10.
gold border. Like you
There's a
said.
gold border one. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And
So
that one's super cool.
Pimp Pastor says, I also love the mail away wizard variants of specific comics. I
Heck
have the mail away
yes.
Teen Titans variants.
Dude, I've got a few of them. I love it. I don't know what I did to convince my mom and dad to mail away for comic books, but they must have. Not only do I have the books, I still have, they came in their own plastic seal, their plastic sleeve that had a
Mhm,
wizard like logo on them.
mhm.
I took them out and put them into different bags and boards, but I kept all of the plastic that they came in. So I actually have a little section in a short box with all of those books, as well as just all of the empty sleeves.
You kept those too.
I
That's-
kept them. They got a wizard logo on them. I want them.
I'm telling you. And looking through a wizard magazine to me probably robbed me of quite a bit of comic book time. Instead of going to a comic book, like I was like, no, I'm going to read this article. I'm going to look at this art. I'm going to look up the
Yeah.
prices of the comic book that I have and see if it's got a. I think it was a plus sign. Like, is it up or an arrow? I can't remember what it
I think
was.
it was. I think there were up arrows and down arrows.
Up
I
arrows and
think
down
that's what it
arrows.
was.
It's like,
Yeah.
is it up or is it down?
Yeah. Yeah.
Always, because I was a trading card kid back then too.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
all the Spider-Man base cards are worth $2 to $7, or whatever it was, and it was always more than the other characters, and so it was always fun for me to revisit that, as often as I could get one of those books.
Absolutely. And not to go too far on a tangent, I mean to keep it kind of concise in terms of like, how we fell in love with Wizard.
Hmm.
I mean, we just did. What are we going to say? We just did. It was there from the first moment we saw it, and then we were
Right.
never without it. And the only reason Wizard exited my life was because I found other, like, life happened, right? Like
Hmm.
I got a little older, and who knows? Oh, we had we had the boom, we had the bubble burst.
The bubble burst,
Remember?
but that's actually not what happened to me. Two things happened.
Okay.
The place where I would get the stuff in '96 closed, and I found girls.
Right.
At
Other
the
things happen.
other things happen, and from there, it all went away for a period of time, but it never left me.
Yeah.
Like,
Never let. No. I I tell the story. Sorry, I cut you off.
no, you're good. No, I'm with you. Like that's me handing it off to you. It never left me.
Yeah, it never left me. Even when I've moved to different cities, lived different places, doesn't matter how old I got, there were four comic books that were always with me. They were in a
Okay.
thicker mylar, the ones that we thought were cool when we were younger, and they were always with me. They were always in a drawer somewhere on my bedside, and they're not hugely valuable, but people
Uh-huh.
that know me know these are my favorites. So it was Spider-Man issue number 1, the McFarlane covers, sitting on the webs, the original, like the green background one.
Yep.
And I believe the one that I had was just a standard direct, and then the silver cover, which is the black cover, and
Hmm.
that was polybagged with the collector's edition, the big red number 1 on it,
Right.
and that was always by my side. Those copies are still with me. There was a 363, which is the Venom floating face, the Carnage floating face, and the
Yes, the three
Spider-Man floating
faces.
face.
Yeah.
Yep. I mean, hugely impactful artwork for me, and that's always been with me. And let me
Bagley
try to
art,
remember what the fourth.
right? Jeff Bag.
Yes,
I
yes,
mean, Mark Bagley art.
that's Mark Bagley. Mark Bagley and Todd McFarlane defined my taste for comic book artistry.
Yeah.
They spoke to me something about this. Well, I digress, but
Mhm.
or maybe that's just a tangent. What was the fourth book that was always with me? The green one, the silver one, number 1,
Is it another Spidey book?
363. It was another. Oh, it was absolutely another Spider-Man book, no question. That actually might have been the three. Those three went everywhere I went. It doesn't matter how old I was, anything at all. Those were
Yeah.
always with me for decades and decades and decades, and they still are. The only thing they've gotten recently are new bags and boards.
That's it. Huh? You still got them. Are you going to get them
I still
graded?
got them. No, those have much more sentimental value than actual value, and I have my graded versions that are the rarer counterparts for those books that I've slowly been adding into my collection, like signed ones or 9.8s of newsstands and stuff like that. So to satisfy my 9.8 high grade passion of
Mm-hmm.
all the books that I love, I just add those to my collection, and everything from my childhood, the sentimental value, it's still there, and those still exist in whatever shape they are. Well, I was a crazy kid, so they're all in pretty high grade.
I'm not surprised. Everything's clean with you. Yep, that is for
Yeah, I
sure.
try my best. Yeah, I like my stuff to feel respected. Like I like to show it that I love it.
Uh-huh.
I don't want to. Yeah,
I'm with you. I'm with you. So Symbiote by Nature says the only reason I stopped collecting as a kid in the 90s was because the bubble burst and eventually my LCS closed down. But that
that's a thing.
got everybody.
Yep,
So
that's a thing. Yep.
while I was talking to Eric and Julia Leewall, the creators of X-Men, the animated series last week, they shared some information with me that I really want to fact check, but I'm gonna share it with you guys tonight, and you may be able to verify it. But after the 96 crash, and they started, they were selling off property rights, in terms of
Mhm.
like
Mhm.
license, like the movies and things. That's how
Mhm.
Fox got X-Men and Fantastic Four, how Sony got Spider-Man, and that left the Avengers for Disney in the future, right?
Mhm. Mhm.
Well, the Stan Lee and other big time artists started doing stuff with trading cards, like actual drawing on trading cards inside of them. Okay, pack full cards. And I was talking to them about that, and he was like, "Well, a trading card is actually what sunk Marvel." I was like, "What?" And he said, "Yeah." Because I'm just thinking it's just the boom that the bubble burst. He said, "Well, that too." He said, "But what happened is Marvel was a small company that was doing really well at that point in the 90s, and they went out and bought Panini, the trading card company.
I didn't know that.
And Panini was a lot bigger than them. And so as soon as the comic book sales dropped, they couldn't carry it. And it just that's what happened. And that's why they couldn't
Wow.
withstand the drop in comic book sales. It wasn't that they could just cut artists and whatever. They had this big monster they were toting called Panini. So I haven't fact checked that, but I thought that was interesting.
That is very interesting. I did not know that, and it's really cool to know that actually, because now
Yeah.
everything's fine. We can smile about it. Marvel's back, baby.
Yeah,
It's
back baby.
okay. Yeah. So
Yep.
that's okay. I didn't know that. And but man, speaking of Marvel cards in the 90s, man, that was my thing. Like I love Marvel cards. I love holograms. I love opening packs of cards. The Flair
Mhm.
set was the most luxurious thing I'd ever seen.
Luxurious. Yes.
Oh man, 1996 Marvel masterpieces, the artwork, Boris Vallejo, Julie Bell, like just insane stuff. Up until recently, I've been selling my childhood. I had multiple sets of it, and I thought I
Of
was doing a great
96?
job selling them for good 96. And
Oh man.
most recently, I know, but you know what? It's not terrible that I sold them because I did well. Like most recently, I sold an entire set. Most recently, meaning about a year ago, for like $1,500.
Yeah, you
But
did
I
good.
suspect, yeah, I suspect they're probably a tad bit more right now. Because I also sold another set, auction ended, and I think it was only like it was less than 1,000. And
Mm.
so one might have been slightly incomplete. I can't remember, but I definitely regret selling those sets at the moment. But one thing I didn't sell, my favorite insert card from there, remember the double impact,
I do. Yeah.
and one of them is Storm on the front, Spidey on the back.
Uh-huh.
It's like my favorite card ever. My childhood copy of that card. Andrew's in here. Oh, he's mentioning 92 Marvel Masterpiece. I know that's his set.
That's a
That
great
he
Joe
the Juiceco
Juiceco.
set, man, that's his set. And he's got the set that he has representing his passion for it.
Yeah.
It's when he says that's his set, he's telling the truth because that man
Oh,
collected the best looking set I've ever seen. Everyone signed by Juiceco, if I remember correctly. And why am I telling everybody's business here live on YouTube? I'm sorry,
it's
Fred.
just you and
I
me.
apologize.
It's not going to live permanently on the
Okay,
internet
that's right.
forever, publicly.
There you go.
Well, he says
My
it was
goodness.
fire.
And so, man, he showed me early on when he and I first connected on Instagram, when I
Mhm.
first came onto Instagram. I was fortunate enough to that that he was willing to speak to me, and he shared a lot of information with me, and we had a lot of passionate exchanges about things that we've collected and stuff. And I really do remember him showing me, probably not the entire set, but he definitely told me about it and definitely showed me some of them, and it was quite impressive.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
Yeah.
So Christopher Murray asked, "Good evening from Colorado. Good evening, sir.
Hello. Yeah.
Sorry if it's already been asked here, but is there any chance of a Marvel collector gathering at National? Also, am I the only one who thinks that Craven is worth making a movie?" Okay, two questions there. Yes, there'll be a lot of us at National. I'm actually planning to book my air flight soon, but there's tons of people planning to be there.
Yeah.
And Craven into a movie, I don't know. Like he feels more like a Disney Plus series to me, but I am excited. I know it's going to be Sony, not Disney Plus. got to keep that straight. But they are doing
Right.
something. They are going to do quite a bit with Craven, I think.
I mean, that's the buzz. I haven't followed it to the T, but that's
Mhm,
certainly what the buzz is.
mhm.
That's for sure.
So going back to 92 Marvel Masterpiece, I actually have Joe Jusko working on a couple of pieces for me right now.
No way.
Yeah, yeah, I'm
That's
excited.
exciting. I'm excited. I'm
Yeah,
excited. That's dope. All right, let's go.
I can't wait. You can't rush the master, so I don't know when I'll get it, but it's out there and it's happening. So I'm excited.
Right,
Symbiote by Nature
right.
said 94 Marvel Flair was life changing for me.
Man, yeah, man. Bro, that set, the thickness of the card, the gloss, the way it
Hmm.
was all kind of like digitally enhanced and sort of luxurious looking, and the the power blast set, the flip side power blast set, like
Yeah, it felt special.
90 my memory, the one of the other reasons that 94 Flair is so special to me is my parents actually bought me an unopened box of those cards, and on Christmas morning, we had a room where the Christmas tree would be, and it was called the white room, because the
Yeah.
sofas are white and there's a white table. And I just remember opening each pack and just making those stacks, right? You have two of this one, three
Oh,
of this one, hoping you have. And I recently graded my Power Blast Venom card from that. Oh, you saw
I
the post.
saw it. That's
And
what
I
connected
recently
us.
graded, yeah. Yeah, exactly right. So that's exactly right. So the my original that I graded, I think I had two, but my original
Yeah.
that I graded turned out to be a 9, and I'm happy with that.
Be
It's with
happy.
me. I love
Yeah.
it. And yeah, and most recently, I picked up a PSA 10, eBay, 250 bucks. I actually think that's quite reasonable for that card.
Mhm. I'm happy for you. That's for sure. I can't believe you got a
Thank
box
you.
as a kid because those were the expensive packs. I think they were like $5 a pack back then. And
Only child.
oh, I'm one of six and a twin, so
Oh, yeah, yeah.
we had to split
And
everything.
yeah,
That's all right. Look, the
and
see, I
yeah,
married an only child. I just have this thing for only child. So there you are. I'm used to giving,
hey,
you're used to
yeah,
taking.
nice.
Now that you got it, you picked up on it.
I got it. Oh,
That's awesome.
I have it's funny. It's funny. Yeah, but you're absolutely right. That was the expensive set. That was like the luxurious set, and it is definitely one of my most priceless memories. And every single card that I opened and pulled from those packs is still with me.
That's wonderful. I love that story,
Mhm.
man. I do.
I
I love it.
appreciate it, man. I
That is
love it. I love it.
it's it marks a fun special time in our childhoods. That's for sure.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Dio
Absolutely.
says Wolverine Prism is still his favorite set from the Wolverine from then until now. It's had that cracked ice look to it. That's what he's talking about.
What year is that from? The
That's probably
Wolverine Prism set.
92, I think.
It must have come out right with those McFarlane Prism sets because
Oh
those
yeah,
are
it
the
was,
ones that I
they
know.
have Ghost Rider, Spider-Man, Wolverine. They did all of those during that same time
Hmm.
frame. Yep.
Right on.
The,
Right
the
on.
Spider-Man
Dope.
cracked ice prism is some of my favorite 90s cards as well.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Um,
They've been doing well recently. I appreciate the respect for them in PSA 10. I've seen some close for more than I expected them to, and it makes me
well,
so
because they're
happy.
actually not that easy to get tens in those.
Yeah, I know. I
Yeah.
got a bunch of 8s and 9s back.
So you know that life. I'm with you. I'm with
Yeah.
you.
Yeah.
Uh, let's see. Only child's rule. Oh, okay. This is making a lot more sense.
Naj says I'm a middle child. We get nothing.
Naj, I'm right there with you. Like I'm like the worst middle child ever. Okay, so I'm gonna tell this middle child story. So I have an older sister. I was born. Then 30 minutes later, my twin brother was born. So I'm immediately a middle child. Never for one moment ever the baby. Then 11 months later, my baby sister is born. So even more so the middle child. It's like, who's that
Yep.
fat little butterball over there in the corner? We don't mess with him. Take care of the babies over here. So yeah, I'm with you,
Oh,
Naja. Yeah.
that's funny. That's funny. On a different day, I'll tell. I was an only child up until a certain point. I know that's weird, but half brothers and sisters, they're real
Yeah.
brothers and
They
sisters.
really are,
And they
man.
entered, they really are, It just depends on how you define that relationship. And I defined it as, oh, you're with me, we're brothers and sisters. And so
Love it.
when I became old enough to actually start communicating and getting along with them, yeah, I was no longer only child anymore. Like all of the dynamics of arguing with your sister or your big brother saying, get out of my car type of thing, pushing you out of the car at the movie theater so he can go do what he wants, it all went down.
Oh man, I got it.
Yeah,
You felt all that.
absolutely.
That's probably
Absolutely.
worse because you had it bred into you were an only child, and then boom.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh,
And
that's
somehow I had like the wherewithal, or somehow I had the ability to not just be like, not wonder, why am I sharing now? Like, for some reason, what was mine still felt like theirs. But I think that's just credit to my mother and father and how they,
yeah.
taught me about how to treat people and things like that. So that's probably just that. But it was
Mhm.
only a small adjustment, and then I was just happy to have a bigger family.
That's awesome, man. I love it. She says, "Oh no, you're a double middle child." Yeah, it's really bad.
Yeah, yeah.
Modern Crime and Car says, "I tell people, being an only child sounds awesome, but actually, it's really, really awesome. Look, you inherit it all. You don't have to worry about it." That's
Knock on
cool.
wood. Knock on wood.
I go with yeah, but then you have to take care of your parents. You don't have any help, so sorry
Yeah,
about that.
yeah. It's a duty. It's a duty,
Uh-huh.
and it's a responsibility. Yeah.
I make my younger sister take care of my mom, and I take care of my dad. So
Okay, it's good. It's very good. And
yeah.
do you guys switch off ever?
Uh, no, not really, because my dad's a
Okay.
handful and she doesn't want to switch. So,
All right, perfect. The
oh,
arrangements are as they should be.
as they should be. Look, we got PS collectibles from the Philippines. All right. So
Oh,
I was talking
nice.
with my buddy Rich over in the Philippines, and they have their own Marvel card community. They got their own Marvel card Facebook pages and groups, and they chat and talk, and just a really cool bunch of collectors over there. And they have a ton of amazing artists as well. Oh,
I
she
need
says
to
she left the
learn.
country. That's what happened.
Oh, that's actually true. I do know a bit of her backstory, and she did.
Middle child, I'm gone.
Yeah,
My
that's
dad's
funny.
coin collection will take care of him. That's interesting. Um, I remember wanting to coin collect as a kid, but it never took on.
I I wanted to as well, and my
Yeah.
father actually helped. Like anytime he would come across anything cool, we would just stash it, and I still have the entire stash. And what I've never done is go
Mhm.
through them and find out what any of it is. I have some really, to me, interesting, unique stuff, but that's a whole nother world. If you don't know
It
what kind of
really is.
penny you're looking at, you don't know what you're looking at.
Yeah, like a small little variance that, you
Yeah,
know, whatever. Yeah, but that makes it really rare.
yeah,
So I
yeah.
want to tell you about something I've got going on in the comic book space. Okay.
Okay, okay. Mhm.
So last year during the frenzy, I picked up 4 copies of Miles Morales' first appearance. Okay.
Okay, okay.
You know,
Yes.
UF4, both. I got 2 of the, first prints, not newsstand. I wished, right? And
I
then
wish too. I'm after it. Yeah,
that's seriously, I think, going to be one of the biggest grails all time. And you with me? And
absolutely.
then you have the 2 variants. You have well, I think one's a second print, one's a variant, is a proper
That's
way to
correct.
say it. The proper way to say
Yep,
it.
yep.
And then I sent them to Clayton Crane to get sketched, or a remark is the proper term, right?
Mhm,
So
mhm.
I got one remarked, and it came back a 9.6, and
Right.
I was hoping for a 9.8. The truth is, and I'm not worried about this book ever selling. I don't have an intention to sell it. Maybe I will, maybe I won't. It's not a 9.6. It's not even really a 9.6. It where he drew where he did his remark, somebody had dropped something on the cover, and so it left a little bit of an indention in the book on the cover. But now that he's remarked over it, you can't see it. So, are you with me?
I am.
And the other ones I did just signatures, I got another 9.6 and then 2 9.4s. Well, now Mark Bagley is doing a remark and a signature. So I'm kind of hoping that now that Mark does his, and I didn't press and grade with CGC last time. That I need to tell you that. I
Okay.
just sent it in, it got a 9.6. So now I'm sending it to
Okay.
Mark Bagley to get him to do a remark and sign, but then I'm also getting him to do a press and grade. I mean, clean and press
Clean
in
and
the
press, yeah.
hopes that it comes back as a 9.8.
The same one, the one that's a
Same one.
9.6 that
Same one.
okay, okay. I mean, I wish you the best. I wish you the best. It could work. So the spine and the corners, all of that are clean.
All of that was
For
actually really clean.
okay, fantastic.
There might have
That's a
been
huge
a
book.
small, just actually on that on the Ultimate Fallout 4 on the spine. There's some artwork that makes it look like it has a tick. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Maybe I do have the book here. Perhaps
Yeah,
I can only say perhaps from memory. Yeah,
yeah. It's a little white line, and so if you're not familiar with the cover, it might look like a tick.
right.
That's maybe I'm wrong, but that's what I'm thinking. Yeah, J
Sure,
caps
sure.
is always press. I learned that the hard way. So thank you for. I need the good luck. I mean, it doesn't have to come back a 9.8. I'm just, if it does, it does.
Naj has great experience with that book, and if she's already put her magic on it. Now that she said good luck, just wait and
Oh,
see what happens. Yeah.
well, honestly, if I can just get a good remark or sketch from Mark Bagley, I'll be happy. Some of his remarks are not good.
Um, I love Mark Bagley. Some you already said it, so I don't have to say anything.
Right. Yeah, I love him too, but
Yeah,
his
yeah, yeah,
especially next to a Clayton Crane remark, which he does really over the top.
yeah. He's crazy. Yeah.
But what I will
Naj
say,
says she's knows that tick. She's familiar with the tick you or the artwork that looks like a tick. Yeah.
yes, thank you. I was beginning to worry about my I was like, wait a minute, what am I talking about? If 9.9 doesn't know, what do I know?
I forget
The-
stuff.
yeah. But yeah, no, it is like first look, you're like, oh, it's a tick. Oh no, that's the art. So it's I hope I'm right on that. There's some Marvel cards that had the same thing. In fact, the Miles Morales PMG from 2017 Flare Ultra has something that makes it look like it has an edge issue, but it's the art. It's the white on his wrist as it goes off the edge of the page.
Okay.
So
Noted. Noted.
yeah. So Mark Bagley is no Eric Lawson or Clayton Crane. Yeah, he just does black Sharpie and gets in a hurry. And the truth is Jim Lee's that way too. Have you seen the Jim Lee remarks?
I've seen some. I've most recently I saw him just do sketch covers, like a blank cover. So I loved it, right? Because like, yeah, take up my whole cover. It's a blank
Right.
cover.
Yeah.
But for Jim Lee, I just love his signature. Like if he sketches or remarks, great. But I just think he's got such a clean signature. I love the look of his signature.
Oh, Jim Lee, his signature's artwork. I recently got a Wolverine on my X-Men 1 Magneto cover.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
I asked him, you don't get what you asked, but I said like if you could do like Magneto's like this in that
Yeah,
power mode, I was like,
yeah.
if you could just draw Wolverine getting his adamantium ripped out in his hand, like that would be really awesome.
Did he
But
do it?
no, he just did
Oh,
Wolverine's face. He just does a side profile because it's
just like
quick,
yeah, he
right?
does. Yeah, it's true. It's true.
But it actually looks good. I'm really pleased with it and happy to have it. And it came back a 9.8 signed with the remark. But so Symbio says you guys need to look up the Mark Bagley 2099 remark on the AMS 365. Oof, that sounds
I think he
bad.
might even show. I don't even know if he's shown it to me, but yeah, I'm gonna have to peek that.
All right,
Man,
I'm seeing if
he's
I can
done
pull
some
it
stuff, man. Mark. I love Mark Bagley, but he criticizing stuff is fun too. It's okay. It's fun. It's all
I'm
part of
not
the
I'm
hobby.
not criticizing. I'm just saying I don't know what I'm going to get and what I've seen. Obviously, the guy can draw, right? Like
Yeah.
he's a legend. But some of these remarks are not the best looking ever. Uh,
I want
I'm
to
going to
see
look
this
this up.
thing.
2099. What did he call it? The Mark
He said
Bagley remark
2090. Mark
on
Bagley,
AMS
Spidey 2099 on 365. Yeah.
365 is the first uh, appearance, right?
Spiderman 2099. Yeah. The black cover with the hologram. Love that book. That book went crazy in a 9.8 newsstand. I love that book. I do not have a 9.8 newsstand of that book.
I have a 9.4 and a 9.6 newsstand. Yeah, I'm not seeing it. I'll have to look it up later. Uh, thought it might
Yeah,
come
I'm
up
sure it's
quickly, but
made
it
its
didn't.
rounds.
But it's just such a tough book to get in a 9.8 with that black cover
It's a,
foiling
yeah,
the
yeah.
scratches.
It's unforgiving. The foil, the hollow scratches. If you get a spine tick on that, it's gonna break color. There's no such thing as a non-color breaking spine tick on that sort of
No,
that card. Well, from my experience.
no, I'm with you. So Modern says he pulled a DC sketch card out of Batman archives. Took him a year to find the character after he bought a DC anthology uh, compendium book. So yeah, I mean DC, they just have such a huge rogue gallery of villains. Like it's hard to recognize them.
Yeah.
The Power Changeling Man. Oh, all right. So this is how you know somebody watches the channel here. Modern Crime says DC stands for don't care. I say that all
Is
the
that
time.
your thing?
Yeah.
Okay.
We talk about Marvel,
Dang.
baby. That's rough, isn't it?
It's
No.
harsh, but it's cute, so it's good. It's fun.
Okay, got it. I mean, I do like some DC, mainly their
Yeah.
animated stuff, but that's
I mean,
it.
we like comic books, so we're gonna like some DC.
Mhm. Now HBO released the new Batman movie today on HBO.
I didn't even know that.
Yeah, have you seen the new HBO?
No.
I mean, the new
The
Batman?
you mean the Batman movie that's in the theaters right now is
Yeah,
released on HBO? Like if I have
today.
HBO Go, I can watch it?
Correct.
I should subscribe to something. I don't have any
Keep
subscriptions. I'm like
saving your
against
money.
subscriptions.
I'm with you.
Yeah, because Paul eventually is going to sell me the white page 316 Mark Jewelers. I
You need
can't
to
have
go for that.
$30 a month going here
Look,
and there,
I will put it on and FaceTime you. You can just watch it through FaceTime.
I'm into it.
All right. Naja's got to go tonight. She's got to get to work at 3 hours. Wow. Thank you for hanging
My
out.
friend, good night. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for your support. As always, you're the best. Thank you. Thank
And
you.
and you got to get her on here one day.
Oh, she's coming. She's gonna be on here. She's already all over. She's the only reason I'm here is her. We are going to have
It's got
conversations
to happen.
in front of a camera together for sure.
Yeah. So Charles says in 9EMU, our Impel Marvel Universe is the best set
Yeah,
ever created.
I love that set. I love that
Charles,
set.
we love it and it's important, but I don't know if I can call it the best ever.
It has an element to it that makes it so special because when you look at it, you can tell this is early in the card stuff. You can
Mhm.
you can tell from the artwork. But that's what makes it so cool to me. Like that Mr. Marvel, the Stan Lee card in that set.
Yeah. No, you're right.
Legendary. The black suit Spidey card in that set. It's the simplicity of it, the era correctness of it. It
Yeah.
almost seems older than 1990s. It's very cool. And I love it, And the Venom card, that's not the best looking Venom, but I love that Venom card. And
Mhm.
I don't know, there's like multiple Spider-Man cards, and there's a cosmic Spidey in there. I think the
Look,
fact that it has just such a simplified, nostalgic sort of like, oh, this is like the simple times, that makes it super cool because then things got real advanced, really intricate artwork, foils and chromes and everything.
and they really, I mean, they really modeled sports cards when they made it, right?
Yeah,
And
yeah,
so it had a lot of those elements. Has rookie cards and the
that's
white
right.
borders. It has
The
kind of the
borders, yeah.
bio and power sets on the
The
back,
stats on the back.
stats on the
Yeah,
back. So a lot of that fits that. And I'm with you. The holograms, those in a PSA 10 are going to be really, really special in the long run. I mean, the last I checked, Cosmic Spider-Man, after having who knows how many hundreds, if not thousands, graded, has 6 PSA 10s. That's it.
crazy.
So
Yeah,
I agree with you that it's important. I just don't. The word "best" is, that's a tough word for some people, but I think it will be important for a long time. They
agreed.
with
Yeah.
the paper that they're made out of, they actually still grade really well if you were to rip a box today, right?
As long as the factory gave you a decent border, you got a shot.
The border's a whole nother. The centering's a whole nother thing. Yeah, for sure.
The centering, yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So Kent says 2017 Flare Ultra Spider-Man and 2013 Retro. Uh, yeah. 2013 Retro is got to be number one right now. But they made homage cards in it to 90MU. I mean, in that set.
They're
So
so cool. I don't have any of them, and I'm just discovering them one by one, and I'm like, this is awesome. I need all this stuff. Anything from 2012 up, I have to catch up on. I'm not there.
yeah, we'll take our time. No need to rush it. And but I actually think the new Spider-Man metal is going to end up being in the top 5, if not top 3 sets all time. That's another live for another
Oh wow,
day. It's gonna be really good. So Nerdy
I got a
Card
lot to learn.
says that's all right. He says he has a PSA sub sitting in the next room with 2 in there, hoping they came back 10s. Oh, that's cool. I hope they do too.
How do you have a sub sitting so close to you and it's unopened? How do you have that sort of?
Probably
How do you
means that
not just
he's
rip it
getting
open?
subs on a regular basis.
Okay. All right. My apologies. Makes all the sense now. I gotcha.
It's
I
not like you and
gotcha.
me. We're like 2 subs, 3 subs a year, maybe.
Exactly.
So
Waiting 3 months for my next one. Can't wait.
right. So Michael Day says, "What do you think about Ridden House Marvel cards?" I like them. So Ridden House is a company that owned the Marvel license for
Yeah.
trading cards for a little while before Upper Deck got them, right? And they made some really
Mhm.
good stuff. They have some. There's some sketch cards in there that are really really special, and they actually did number cards. Like they were one of the first to do number cards. So you have gold number cards
Okay.
numbered to 75, and even less than that, you have diamonds out of 10. So they still have some of that rare low number stuff, and it has great art on it. It really does. So I do think they're pretty cool. Let's see.
I
There's
have some
great.
Rittenhouse stuff, and I bought it from Amanda, and it's really cool.
Yeah, Amanda's she's the goat when it comes to grading Marvel cards. So you made a really good connection there pretty quickly. All right.
What did
See,
Andrew just say?
Andrew is this Andrew?
Oh, A Banfi, yeah.
I don't see. Oh, up here. I'm sorry.
Uh,
He was agreeing with you.
he
That's why I
said,
didn't say anything.
"Oh, okay, okay, cool.
He said it was great
Cool.
because of the art and features so many artists at that time, and it definitely feels older than the '90s. Love that set.
Oh, cool. I just know it's him because I see that RS. That's his Instagram icon too. I'm like, yep, there's the Porsche. I noticed.
You notice Nerdy Card Guy is going to post the results later on Instagram, so we'll be able to see it. So that'll be cool.
I'm gonna be there. If I do, I hope if I'm not following, I'm gonna be following after this.
Same Nerdy Card Guy. Let us know if your IG handle is different than your YouTube handle. And Marvel Guy says he has the Alpha Ruby Magneto Rittenhouse at PSA right now. So that's cool. I hope to do
Nice.
some
That
PSA
sounds cool.
reveals in the next number of weeks. I've got quite a few there. I've got a big submission, like 100, like almost 200 cards at BGS at Beckett. So,
Whoa.
mhm. And those
I'm
actually should
excited to
come
see
back.
what you get back.
Those those were submitted through PWCC, and those should come back like probably in 2 weeks.
Okay. All right. I'm excited to see what those are. A friend of mine just, because the way the PSA submissions work these days, it's
Mhm.
kind of a raffle to get your slots, right?
So every
And I haven't
Tuesday and
submitted. Yeah.
Thursday they do a lottery. So if you have an
Right.
account, you log in, get in the queue, and then you you get dropped in the lottery, and you wait and see if you can get a 20 card submission.
A 20 card. Yep.
Mhm.
My buddy just snagged one of those spots, and he said he's not sending anything in. So I think I'm gonna get 20 cards together and take advantage of that.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah. I used a friend to do
Yeah.
another 20 card submission here recently. So that's because he
Okay.
won the lottery
Fantastic. Yeah, I
and
might do that.
he's like, I didn't need it.
Yeah.
So that's really cool. Well, man, we are reaching the hour and 30-minute mark. Can you believe it?
I I'm astonished, my friend. Like I'm absolutely astonished. This we didn't even talk about Wizard. We might have to do that a different
We
time.
we will. We might just do a more like we might just record it and then post it so it's really
We could
concise.
yeah, and then
That's
it can live there on YouTube. It can circulate organically as it wants, and the information and the passion for it can be shared even if someone can't make it to the live. That might be the greatest way to do it.
let's plan it. We'll do a resource like almost like a resource informational video, we'll show some stuff. I'll edit
Yeah.
it after we'll record it. I'll edit it, make it clean, and we'll put it out there for everybody to consume.
Yeah, because I'll be completely honest, I just had a great time just being amongst friends, and it just turned
Uh-huh.
into a nice conversation, and I'm just like, this is awesome.
It did. I didn't realize we've been here an hour and 30 minutes. I looked down, my wife's texting me, and I'm like, oh, yeah, that's
I will.
yeah, we
Okay, bef let's at least we'll do a little bit of wizarding just
let's
because
do it.
I know people ask me all the time, but then no one I don't always show them. I just want to say that with the Wizard One, which is my favorite ever,
It's
right? So
amazing.
you have the standard Wizard One, which is the direct edition. And if I understand correctly, the print
Mm,
run for this is 100,000. If I understand correctly, that's what people have said.
got it.
And
Got it.
also this whole time we haven't said what up to Gareb Shamus, the founder of Wizard. I should have said hello and hi. I don't know, if he's ever going to see it, but he's
Yeah.
become a friend of mine, and that's really amazing. I just want to say hello and thank you because it's because of him and his ambitions that we have this magazine.
Right.
And like, I didn't
Right.
know who he was for decades, and he is a huge part of my life. So that was the standard version. And then at San Diego Comic Con, just,
Yeah.
through the course of that
Is
convention,
that
there was
printed
this
on or is
version.
it stamped?
It, oh, that's a good question. No, it looks to be very printed on. I'm assuming
Okay.
it looks
Okay.
printed on.
So
I'll examine
they ran it
closer
through a
and I'll
so then
compare.
so they ran it through a special printer then. This that's cool.
Let's see if these line up exactly. These are both San Diego Comic Con versions. And you know what? They don't appear to be printed in the exact same place. So I'm going to have to investigate that more. We'll find out. And so
Yeah.
that was only circulated through the convention or distributed in the convention. And there's a friend in the community. He's awesome, by the way. His Instagram handle is Godly Comics.
Oh, very
Godly
cool.
Comics.
Check it out.
And he's awesome and he's incredible and he's a huge resource and a huge knowledge base for all things. But one of the things he loves a lot are exclusives, and he loves San Diego Comic Con. And it was a conversation with him where he told me that because we don't know what the print run of this is, but he said, it could be anywhere from it can't be more than a couple thousand is what he's suspecting.
Mm,
And
wow.
I think that's incredible. So that's a really low print run for the SDCC. But another one that I have a lot of difficult
Dude.
finding, especially in high grade, is the newsstand.
Yeah.
And
Wow.
so it actually has a barcode. It's a legit newsstand.
It's a
Those are the
legit
three Wizard ones.
magazine. And what I mean by that is this newsstand was meant to be on a rack, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So
Exactly. This was a legit magazine. Yeah.
no intention to keep care and condition.
No intention. And that, no, even though this said collector's edition on it, that's just because that's what the 90s were about. Put collector's editions and a number one on
On
something.
everything.
But
Yeah.
yeah, we read them, we flipped through them, we wanted to see the prices, right? So on a newsstand at an actual magazine rack, and it's a price guide meant for you to flip through. So the chances of
Right.
it surviving in high grade, crazy. The
Pretty
highest
low.
grade I've ever seen. Yeah, the highest grade I've ever seen in this magazine, in a newsstand, is a 9.4. There might be a 9.6 or a 9.8. I don't know. There are only two blue label 9.8s of this magazine on the census. SDCC has a few. CGC actually separates the San Diego Comic Con version from the others, but they don't
Okay.
separate the newsstand from the direct. So if you're looking at the census and you're just looking at the direct, newsstands are in there. There's no separation. There are only two blue labels. There might be more now. This is the last time I checked. I don't suspect one of those is a newsstand. Somehow I'm going to have to make a 9.8 newsstand because I need one in my life. I
You
had a
do.
9.4 and I sold the 9.4, and that's the highest grade I've ever seen. I don't regret selling it, but that's only because I think I have a raw copy that's going to make up for it. And I'm just
You have
waiting
another
for the day.
9.4. Yeah, a 9.4. So I watched a
I
buddy of
think so.
mine. Buddy of mine's Instagram and YouTube channel is Valor Comics. He's actually my guy who presses and cleans my books. And I saw his video today where he got a Morbius magazine cover with Bob Larkin art on it. I don't know if you're familiar with
Okay.
it, but he made a statement in there that I want to ask you about. He said, if you're grading comics at CGC, it takes about 8 months. It's on a different turn time.
It is.
Is
It's
that
way
is that true?
longer. Yeah, the magazine turnaround time for some reason I think is I don't quote me, but
Yeah.
it is definitely longer. I recently looked and I saw the modern turnaround time without fast tracking it, and it was X. And then I saw the magazine turnaround time and it was X times something, or
Hmm.
add a bunch on it. So yeah, the turnaround time for magazines just expected to get back to you in about a year, unless you think it's a high value magazine and you do walkthrough. And walkthrough is going to cost you $150 to grade it, but you're going to have it back in about a week.
So that's useful to know, because if you're trying to decide to buy a high grade of a magazine, you might be able to factor in like, hey, what's the speed here worth? Like, it's already graded, I already know what it is, and I don't have to
Oh,
wait
I
8 months.
no, for me, I'm going to wait 1 week. I even, it's completely worth it for me to pay the $150 because there's a bunch of emotional satisfaction in
Mm.
not waiting a year.
Right, right.
And I will pay $150 to not waiting a year. You think a year is not worth $150? Oh my
Yeah.
gosh.
Oh, look, I submitted my PSA submission. I actually mailed it on February 28th. Yeah, February 28th. It didn't get inputted into the system until March 14th and 15th, and I still don't have the cards a year and a month later. So,
Right. But if you're doing a bulk submission, you
mm,
can't do it $150 per,
no.
right? I'm talking about sending three magazines at a time. And I
Mhm.
know that the value of them is going to be fine. Symbiote by Nature just said, did the newsstands have the survey insert? And I could obviously open one of these right now and look.
Mhm.
I need gloves.
Oh,
I handle with gloves. I
yeah,
handle with gloves. I handle
yeah.
with love and I handle with symbiote gloves,
Oh, I love
right?
it. I love
And
it.
so, but what I'll do actually, rather than do that, is I will just look at a picture of my 9.4 newsstand to see if that label said inserts included. And actually, it did. My man, the label on the 9.4 newsstand did say inserts included from what I remember. So my answer is yes.
Yes.
The
Yeah.
newsstand did have inserts
Your
for
buddy,
sure.
ABANFI01. Did you say his name was Andy? Andrew?
Andrew.
Andrew.
Yep.
He says yes, they did. So
Yes, they
there's the
did.
answer.
There you go. Yeah. And he actually just sent me a message on my phone too. It came down and went up, and he said something about sharing the newsstand. I don't know what that was, but I'll look at it again later.
That's awesome. Well, look, guys, I hate to cut it short. I mean, we went an hour and a half, so we did good. But man, it has been a ton of fun.
Justin, thank you so much for just introducing this into my world.
Yeah,
I'm indebted to you. Thank you, my friend.
I'm I'm proud of you. Already was. This just makes me more proud. Okay, thank you for saying yes. I know that's not always easy, but you're a great value to this community, beyond just your IG account, which is amazing. Don't get me wrong, it's amazing.
My friend.
But your knowledge, for people to be able to hear you and see your passion, hear your passion, I think is really important. So I'm looking forward to more content. You always have an invitation here on the channel. Would love to
I
do
hope
more
to be
stuff
back.
with you in the future. And I've been thinking about getting up a podcast again here pretty soon. And I used to do a podcast and that dwindled away, but I'm thinking about doing that again. So maybe you might want to do it with me.
I am in.
Yes, I love it. Love it. Love it.
I am in. And before we sign off, I just have to say thank you. Thank you for your contribution to the
Mhm.
community and your energy and your personality. And the reason this comes together is a reflection of your personality. Because us speaking, it was already evident. It's like, no, we're going to turn on the camera and talk. And if he tells me to do it, I'm going to do it. And that's that.
Oh man. Well, thank you. I appreciate you saying yes. Everybody in the chats, everybody watching, thank you so much. Really enjoyed all the interaction was perfect. I couldn't even keep up. It was so good. It was so good.
Nah, my
Anyway,
friends, thank you so much. I love you all for being here. I appreciate it. Thank you.
yeah. And look, this is your first time on the channel. So yeah, I'm gonna sign us off, but you're gonna learn. Okay. So everybody, thank you for watching. And as always, I hope you have a marvelous day.